Yeah, welcome to Let's Learn. Today I am going to have an interview experience of an Ahmed Sheesh. Ahmed Sheesh, first of all, congratulations.
Thank
Can you tell me the interview experience? Means what all you have answered everything.
yeah.
Yeah.
First, Braganda sir, he sent me the email. I clicked it immediately,
Hmm.
and the moment I clicked it, he was there in front of me. At first, I felt nervous.
Hmm. Hmm.
Then later on, after around 2 to 3 minutes, it was better than the first moment when I clicked it.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Then first he was looking down. He didn't look up at all.
Ah, ah.
Then he looked at me. He asked about my family. First, he
Hmm.
asked about my name.
Hmm.
Then he asked about my family, what my parents do.
Hmm.
I answered that in a casual way.
Hmm. Hmm.
Then he asked about my marks in BE. I had a pretty good marks,
Hmm.
above 80% in all.
Hmm. Hmm.
Then after that, he said he asked me about my final year project.
Hmm. Hmm.
After that, fine, I explained it in a simple manner, not in a very lengthy manner. Then later he asked me about. Then he asked me to draw centrifugal pump and explain how discharge is created.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay.
So I drew it, and
Yeah.
my, this was how I drew it. This
Hmm.
was my drawing when I gave my interview.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It is clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
I explained him like this. I'll explain
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Okay. Explain.
In a centrifugal pump, there is an impeller fixed inside a airtight casing, and this impeller is connected through a shaft into a prime mover or a motor. As the prime mover rotates, this impeller rotates inside the casing and displaces the liquid which is already present inside the casing radially outwards, and at the suction at the impeller eye, vacuum is created, and we know that pressure, that is atmospheric pressure, is higher than that of the vacuum pressure, and also the flow takes place from high pressure region to the low pressure region. Therefore, water gets sucked through the strainer and foot valve into the impeller eye, and as the impeller rotates, the kinetic energy of the impeller is converted into the liquid because of the centrifugal force of the impeller acting on the liquid gets displaced radially outwards through the guide vanes into the casing. And we know that in centrifugal pump, the casing, uh, in the discharge side, the volume is increasing, because of which kinetic energy of the liquid is converted into pressure energy. This is how the discharge pressure is created.
Hmm. Okay. Then next question. What he asked?
Next, he asked difference between two-stroke and four-stroke engine.
Okay. You explain it.
I explained it like this. In two-stroke engines, the for one power stroke it takes one revolution of the crankshaft, and in four-stroke engine, for one power stroke it takes two revolution of the crankshaft. Two-stroke engines have ports for inlet and exhaust of ports for inlet and exhaust of gases and fuel, and in four-stroke engine, valves are used for inlet and exhaust of the fuel. Then I explained him about the cross in two-stroke engine. The cross-set type of engines were used, and in four-stroke engine, trunk piston type engines were used. Then in two-stroke engines, it produces more power. In four-stroke engine, it produces less power to the weight ratio. Then in two-stroke engines, the engines are bidirectional engines. Then in four-stroke engines, the engines are unidirectional engines. Then the speed of the crankshaft to the camshaft ratio was 1:1 in two-stroke engines, and the speed of the crankshaft to the camshaft was 1:2 in four-stroke engines. Then in two-stroke engines, the thermal efficiency of the two-stroke engines were high, and also the volumetric efficiency of the two-stroke engines are high. The thermal efficiency and the volumetric efficiency of the four-stroke engines are Sorry, I said it in opposite
Yeah,
manner.
opposite you told.
In two-stroke engines, it is low, and in four-stroke engines, it is high.
Hmm.
And fuel consumption of the two-stroke engines are high, and fuel consumption in that four-stroke engines are low. Yeah, this many around
Okay.
10 points I said.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Yes, the next question what he asked?
Next, he asked about VCRS cycle.
Hmm.
In VCRS cycle, also I didn't explain like I didn't elaborate much.
Hmm.
Just simple words I answered him as you gave me that notes, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Same from there I have answered.
yeah, yeah. Tell
I
me.
said him in VCRS cycle there are four components:
Hmm.
compressors, condensers, then thermostatic expansion valve, and evaporator.
Hmm.
First, I explained him like low pressure, low temperature vapor refrigerant will enter into compressor, and in compressor it gets compressed into high temperature, high pressure, superheated vapor, and it then enters into the condenser. In condenser, there is a continuous flow of seawater which rejects the heat, and therefore in condenser high temperature high pressure vapor refrigerant is converted into high pressure slightly low temperature liquid refrigerant, which is in a saturated state. It then enters into a dryer. In a dryer there is a silica gel present. This silica gel will absorb the moisture content from the refrigerant, and it will then pass into thermostatic expansion valve. In a thermostatic expansion valve there is a orifice fitted, because of which sudden pressure drops and also temperature will drop. Therefore in thermostatic expansion valve, high pressure high temperature liquid refrigerant which is in a saturated state is converted into low pressure, low temperature, liquid plus vapor mixture, saturated liquid plus vapor mixture, and then it is fed into the evaporator. In evaporator, isobaric heat absorption process takes place. It absorbs the heat from the room and gives cooling effect. And therefore, in evaporator, low temperature, low pressure, liquid plus vapor refrigerant is converted into low pressure, low temperature liquid refrigerant, and it is then fed into the sensing bulb.
Vapor
Sensing
refrigerant, right?
uh,
Liquid.
vapor
Hmm.
vapor refrigerant,
Hmm.
and it is then fed into the sensing bulb. Sensing bulb, there's a capillary tube connected to the thermostatic expansion valve. It will send signal if there is any variation in temperatures that is required. If the temperature is high, it will send the signal to the thermostatic expansion valve, and in a thermostatic expansion valve the orifice diameter will be increased,
Hmm.
therefore the temperature will be decreased of the refrigerant,
With
and
the
then it
help
will
of
be,
capillary tube, you told?
yeah, with the help of capillary tube signal will be sent to the thermostatic expansion valve.
Hmm.
And if the temperature is small, if less, then it will send the signal through the capillary tube to the thermostatic expansion valve.
Hmm.
And in thermostatic expansion valve, the orifice diameter will be constricted,
Hmm.
because of which the temperature can be maintained with the help of sensing bulb, and then the refrigerant is passed to the compressor as the cycle will be repeated.
Hmm.
This is how PCR cycle is works.
Okay. And in condenser, you told that a superheated vapor enters into the condenser. Superheated vapor only you mentioned, or only you mentioned vapor? So,
Superheated.
okay, you missed that one. So, sorry.
Now I mistake.
Yeah. And then which question he asked?
Then he asked about bursting disk.
Huh, tell me what you told.
I'll tell you what I told to him. He
Yeah.
was not completely satisfied. I'll tell you how I told.
Huh.
First, I told him. He asked me where this bursting disk will be used in
Yeah,
compressors.
it is there in my notes also. No, you read it, right?
Yeah, I I remember I said him like this.
Uh-huh.
Tell me if I was right.
Okay,
I
okay.
told him that when the pressure inside the compressor will exceed, this bursting disk will burst,
Hmm.
and as this bursting disk will burst, it allows it stops the operation, and
Hmm.
it restricts the entry of the compressed air into the intercooler.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
said him
Yeah.
same like this.
Yeah, it is.
But
First, you have to tell bursting disk is a component if the pressure increases beyond the desired pressure
maximum level.
maximum. It is first you have to tell that it is present in the intercooler and aftercooler. It
This I
will be
said.
there. and then
I've seen
whenever the pressure exceeds the limit, then the bursting disc will burst and it will releases the pressure.
pressure.
Like
Same
this.
way I said.
Uh,
But he started thinking that, okay, where have you learned this from?
hmm, hmm,
Who taught you this? From where did you see?
hmm, hmm,
Like that only asked. I was fully confident. I said him, yeah, I learned it from Google and some other sources. I
hmm,
have
hmm,
learned
hmm,
it.
hmm, hmm.
But he was asking again and again. Do you know who said this? Are you sure with your answer?
Uh,
I said I am pretty sure that
that
he
much
said.
only it is. He is just. I don't know what he
Last
was
he said
working.
this sentence. If you are not sure, you shouldn't be saying. He said this.
Hmm.
But I think he was just testing me.
Yeah, he is testing you. Means this is it is correct only. Means it will be there in intercooler and after. You told that it is there in compressor only.
No.
Compressor
I said
intercooler
him.
and
It is
aftercooler like
placed
that.
at the intercooler. I said him same.
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
And
Yeah, it is there in my notes. Means like in a new PDF I had I thought that he might ask not now in future he will ask. So I made this. I have added this question. See what is bursting disk working and what is the pressure and temperature of it. So it is there. It is a non-reclosing device used to protect the pressure vessel pipeline and to release the excess pressure and prevent potential damage. Yeah, it will be there in intercooler and aftercooler like that. Means like this is the main function. I don't know why
same.
he asked like that.
And about that pressure, it is about 1.5 times working
You
pressure,
told
right?
that?
No, I told, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, that is correct. Means in the onboard ship, it is the pressure will be pressure of the bursting disk will be
1.
1.5 times the working pressure, or otherwise it also might vary. Means like depending on the application, like that. Hello.
Depends upon the.
Depending upon the application it might vary also. Means like bursting disk pressure and temperature. Means if you use the different metal to make the bursting disk, then the pressure and temperature can vary. Means they will set the new value. So then you told that one only, no? Means like are you sure, like that. Then after that he told anything. Hello. Hello. You tell me.
Yes.
After that, what he told? Means like
Then
bursting disk.
after that, my technical questions were finished. He then asked me about my strengths and weaknesses,
Hmm, hmm.
and I said him about like I'll say how I
You
said
told
him.
that also, no? Means
I
like
said,
working pressure of the bursting disk. That also you told.
yeah, I said him.
Huh.
The pressure of a bursting disk is 1 times that of the
1.5
working
times
pressure.
the working pressure.
1.5 times the working pressure.
Then what
That
he
I
told
said him.
after the hearing? Are you sure? करके he asked her.
He said about that overall things. Like I told him, it is placed at
हाँ
the
हाँ हाँ
intercooler.
हाँ हाँ
Right.
हाँ हाँ.
He was asking, "Do you know from where you got this knowledge from? Where
Hmm
did you study this? Are
hmm
you sure about this?" He
hmm
asked
hmm
like
hmm
those
hmm
things.
hmm
So
hmm.
I felt at one point I felt like I might be wrong, but then I stick to my decision that I said, "No, sir, I have studied it from Google. Correctly, I have studied. I remember."
Hmm, hmm.
Then he about that.
Then what he told? Means like if you are not sure, you should not tell करके he told.
Last he said that
हाँ
if you're
हाँ.
not sure, you should not tell that.
Okay okay. Then what about strength and weakness? What you told?
About strengths and weaknesses.
Hmm
First, I said that I am a self-confident. I am a self-confident and a hardworking student.
hmm hmm
I have a never giving up attitude. Whatever it takes for me to achieve my goal, I
hmm
plan accordingly and segregate my works
hmm
according to the requirements of my goal. And I have a good leading ability, and I've been doing this from my childhood, sir. And I've been a captain of my kabaddi team, and also I have led many karate tournaments of
hmm
our school, and I've been leading our team since many years, sir. I have good responsibility taking ability, and I'm taking care of my family as well as my studies at the same time. Then I know how to manage my time very well. And one example I gave, like during my CBSE board exams, I had a kabaddi tournament, and I managed my time and studied as well as we managed to win the trophy.
hmm
Then last I said, I know how to respect my seniors, and I always obey the rules and regulation given by the institute or any company, and this will always help me on board ship in order to gain a good career. This is how I said.
Nice. You told no, it will help in onboard ship. That actually is very
Uh,
good.
After every sentence, every 2 to 3 sentences, I was adding that. Like it will always help me in
Mm.
merchant navy. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. Good, good, good. Even I also done the same actually. Then
yeah.
what weakness? What you told about weakness?
Weakness, I said, I easily believe people.
Hmm.
I easily believe in people.
Hmm.
Whenever they wanted my help or whenever they asked for money, I gave, and I never got it back sometimes.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
I've worked on it, and now it's good. I said him that.
Hmm. Hmm.
Then last he asked, "Do you are your parents interested in sending you to merchant navy?" I said, "Yes, sir. They are all interested,
Hmm. Hmm.
and I've got their permissions too."
Hmm. Okay, viewers, in the strength and weakness, no, you have to tell the strength, and then you have to you have to give an example of your real life incident or something. So, and then
Yeah,
you have to tell how it will be helpful in an onboard ship. Okay,
correct.
it
Yes.
should not be irrelevant. Means you have to tell that, and you have to tell it will be helpful in onboard ship like that, and how it will be helpful. So you have to. It's like, and you have to market yourself like that. Okay.
After every one strength, we'll have to give an example and
Yeah.
also relate it with the onboard ship experience.
Yeah. Means how you will be helpful in the onboard ship. Having this example, having this like that.
Yeah.
And then did he ask at any point of time that which attempt, means is this your first attempt or second attempt like
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
He asked.
He didn't ask about my first attempt or second attempt. He asked which year you have completed your BE.
Graduation.
I said him same this year. I've said him.
Then there is no point to ask. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Then what is your preparation strategy?
Preparation strategy. First, I have gone through the notes which you have prepared.
Mm-hmm.
That around 51 pages notes is there. In
Yeah.
that, around 18 to 22 questions are there,
Mm-hmm.
and these questions are going to be asked. I knew that because other students' experience. I've heard it from Ashish, and he said you have said it that the questions are mostly going to be asked in the same manner.
Mm-hmm.
So I was pretty sure about that questions are going to be same. So in the last moment, around 2 to 3 days before, I started studying those questions thoroughly.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and my non-technical skills were very much poor. And giving interviews with Ashish was a really helpful one for me. And this is how I think I could crack it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And also thanks to Let's Learn team Gyan and Avito. They have also helped a lot. Thank you very much to one and all,
Uh,
everyone.
yeah, that's nice. And yes, Ahmed Sheesh. You have given totally 4 marks, I guess. In each
Yeah,
mocks, in each mock interview, you have improved a little bit. Yeah, it is very happy that you have got selected. I am actually very glad. I am more than happy. It is a kind of different feeling that you have you have cracked it. So
it's like we are your student.
no,
And
nothing,
you are.
not like that. Yeah, it is a little different kind of emotion actually. I am very happy that you got clear. Okay, thank you. And you join this. This is a best institute, no doubt in that. You have to join it, and we will meet in January. I will join. I will be joining in September. I will definitely meet in January.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Okay, bro. Thank you.
Thank you.
Uh,